It's the WMAY morning news feed. I'm Greg Bishop at 8:11. And next year we got elections in November, but you've also got a primary in June. And a lot of names are announcing that they are running for election for the Illinois State House. And one of those, could it be State Senator Sally Turner? She joins us right now on the WMAY morning news feed. Senator, thanks for taking time with us here on WMAY. You got a big announcement you're making?
Hey, Greg. Nice to have you call in and talk to me. I appreciate that. I am going to be running for the 44th, which the 44th is what we're in now, but now it's expanded into 12 counties rather than 5.
Wow, it's a pretty big expansion. And are you ready to put those miles on your vehicle?
No, I already did that. I mean, I think I put 50,000 on just this in the last 11 months.
Oh my gosh.
So, yeah, but I drive back and forth to Springfield quite often since we're not that far from Springfield to do work there at the Capitol as well as our district office. But yeah, we pick up all of DeWitt County and all of Piatt County. And of course, we already had Logan. And then still parts of Sangamon, Tazewell, Woodford, Macon, Mason, McLean, Livingston, and Moultrie. A little teeny tiny bit of Moultrie.
So in your travels, putting 50,000 miles on your vehicle in the past 11 months, what are you hearing from constituents? What do they want you to do at the state capitol if you were to win another term?
You know, most people, they just want they're hardworking citizens, and they just want common sense ideas, and they have Midwestern family-centered values. That's most people. And frankly, they just don't want dictatorial rules. They're worried about crime. Crime is a huge issue that people call us often on. They're worried about crime. And also the unemployment, that was an issue too. We had several people call in that maybe they applied for unemployment and maybe they didn't. And the unemployment offices were closed. That was a huge issue as well during this whole COVID fiasco.
We're talking with State Senator Sally Turner, a Republican who's announcing here today that she is going to seek a full term. You were appointed previously, and now the district's being expanded, and you're going to be including more parts of Springfield. So we definitely want to talk more with you in the weeks and months ahead. But as somebody at the State House, I got to tell you, Senator, I talk to a lot of people, and they don't know who their state house representative is or how important the state legislature is on their lives. How can we better get that across to people if they need to pay more attention?
That's a great point. And to top it off, our 44th district will now have 4 congressional districts in it. I mean, that's even more confusing for people. It is important, and I will say what's even more important to people is local government. And as you know, Greg, I was a county clerk in Logan County for 6 terms, and the importance of local government is overwhelming because it's not only your local school boards, local park boards, county government. All those entities are responsible for your tax bill. And it's very important to pay attention to all your local government to see how they're treating your tax dollars and to see how much money they're levying for in order to use the money that you're paying them for taxes.
Well, and we also saw, even with COVID and some of the executive orders from the governor, it was local governments that were either standing up against those or complying with them and enforcing them. And it was the local governments that were the ones that were behind those decisions, seeming to come down from the governor. So again, just highlighting how important it is for people to understand local government, and not just local government, but also what happens at the State House. Because, Senator, at the State House, there's been a lot of action on a variety of things this year. As somebody who's in the minority party, how do you plan on reaching across the aisle and getting some stuff done for taxpayers?
Yeah, I have absolutely no problem working across the aisle. None. The the thing that I find disappointing is that um, there's an agenda already in place, and I'm sure there's one now that we aren't aware of. Our caucus isn't. It gets sprung on us at the last minute, and that part of negotiation and discussion and uh, that is what we need more of. And I look forward to that maybe happening this year because it's going to go by very quickly. As you know, we changed um, the primary date from March to June, and session is supposed to budget is supposed to be passed by April 8th. We'll see that. Who knows
We'll
if
see.
that's going to
We'll see
happen?
if that happens. Right, a truncated
Yeah,
spring session, which is going to be
yeah.
pretty interesting to see exactly what can get across the finish line in that short amount of time. State Senator Sally Turner here on the WMAY morning news feed. I'm Greg Bishop. She's announcing that she is going to be seeking a full term under the new map for the 44th district. By the way, we still don't have certainty on the map. It's still in the court's hands, so we'll see what happens in the next couple of days on that. But you are eyeing to have that seat for a full term. One thing I wanted to talk with you briefly here on is a story that popped yesterday. The U.S. Census putting out new data, something we've known too often. For the past 10 years, Illinois lost population, one of 3 states to lose population, though the U.S. Census data for the decennial census only showed a loss of about 18,000 people. But new estimates out yesterday indicate that Illinois lost upwards to 114,000 people just in the last year alone. Senator, it doesn't look good. What are the policies driving people out, and how do we reverse that trend?
Well, I think it's pretty evident for all of us. We see higher taxes. That's higher real estate taxes, dictatorial rules, increased crime, and corruption. And when people look at those things, they think, do I want to raise my family here with those types of issues? And we get many calls on taxes, local taxes. And uh, there's a point when you're just going to tax your community to death and they can't afford. I mean, who can make a house payment plus maybe $500 a month saving for your taxes as well? It's out of control. So that those are things that need to be honed in on. And the dictatorial rules. I mean, the legislature needs to play a part in decision making processes that affect all of Illinoisans, and that's not being done. And then, of course, we look at this crime bill that passed, and of course, there were some things that were good about it, which I wasn't there when that was passed, but there's some terrible things that we're going to see this summer come into play if we don't see some amendments in this next session.
Well, and I'm set to talk with the Manufacturers Association a little bit later on this morning, off air. But they've said in the past that they see neighboring states essentially getting more manufacturing jobs. How can we bring more jobs to Illinois?
Yeah, we just got the new Rivian plant in the Bloomington area, which is fantastic. And now that corridor, they're going to need batteries and anything that has to do with the creation of their vehicles there. And that opening of that corridor, whether it be 72 or 55, we're seeing movement of industry coming into those areas. And I know the governor has a few programs that is enticing businesses to come there. And I do know that the city of Bloomington and the city of Normal have done great jobs with outreach into the different industries to try and bring them here. But that's just one portion of it. We also need to, like when you're going to talk to manufacturers, we also need to lift up our local businesses and continue to promote them instead of buying on Amazon and things of that nature. We need to help our local businesses out.
State Senator Sally Turner, greatly appreciate your time again. We will definitely be talking more in the future as we get closer to the primary and the November election. All right here on the WMAY morning news feed. Appreciate it. And if I don't see it before the end of the year, Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, and Happy Holidays to you and yours.
Thanks, Greg. I appreciate it. Merry Christmas to you and all our listeners. God bless you.
It's the WMAY morning news feed now 8:20, and your